And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, I hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC as we returned. We returned here with our next, with the OSC mid-season playoffs, number 1, day 6 for 2026. We are back. We've returned, and we're jumping into our 4th series of the broadcast. Again, we're halfway through the broadcast here. We're jumping into our fresh PvT and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Ruby Rock. We have the Italian Terran player. We have the blue Terran for Streamer Zone. It is BabyMarine. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the teal Protoss player, the teal Protoss from land of Croatia. It is Goblin. So, oh my god. Let's go. As what do we open with? We open with a proxy. We have two SCVs being sent across the map. BabyMarine does open up with a proxy 2x Reaper, and we'll see how Goblin, if he's able to scout and react in time. Oh boy. As again, the Raxes are going to be on the way. Goblin is moving out the probe scout, thankfully. So Goblin, he will probe scout across the map. Goblin, he will try to confirm what is going on. Before I forget, of course, if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. Now, this probe scout will confirm that Rax is missing. That is true. And that should prompt Goblin to check specifically the third locations. We have the triangular third and we have the linear third. These are the two common proxy locations, and BabyMarine happens to be at one of the common locations. So Goblin, there we go, he pokes up the ramp, he does confirm Rax is missing, and we should be seeing a scout nearby. Yep, there it is. Goblin, he does check it right outside of his main before getting his Nexus up and running. There we go, taking a second gas first. Does take a second gas. Guys are confirming one gas across the map. It is going to be, sorry, I thought it was going to be Proxy 2x Reaver. No, Proxy 2x Marauder Rush. Oh boy, that's double Tech Lab, double Marauders are going to be coming. Goblin does not attempt to expand. He does play it safe instead, going Zealot first instead, but he doesn't check with the probe. He doesn't go for the second probe scout here, so he has very limited information to work with. But he is taking it seriously nonetheless, thankfully. There we go. Blind battery on the ramp. I say blind, again, he knows that the Rax is somewhere else. As the probe is still on patrol. First Marauder has arrived, and here comes BabyMarine. He's pushing out the ramp. Defensive robo here for Goblin. Will allow for the Prism for Immortal production. The Immortal is revealed. Goblin now knows. There's in 2 more batteries. And 2 more batteries on the way. And so far, Goblin, he will deny high ground vision. Takes down the SCV. Takes down the SCV. Does force a cancel on the bunker. So far, strong defense here by Goblin. So far, so good. Goblin even winning out this fight as well. Oh, no, never mind. Goblin has to pull away. Behind this, we're actually transitioning back at home. Factory back at home into Cyclone. The Raxes are floating back. And this is where now I'm concerned for Goblin, because he did double down here, getting into 4 batteries. Goblin has to recognize soon that BabyMarine, he's transitioning out of this. Now, thankfully, Goblin is going for the War Prism, so he can counterattack. There's a cancel. And there's a cancellation. Prism is coming. Goblin, he did scout, he did confirm the CC that's on the way. So Goblin is aware. He was able to get the rescouts. And now the pressure's on. The turns have tabled. Goblin moving out. The issue here is that 3 Marauders defensively back at home. I mean, that should be fine for BabyMarine. Should be looking solid. That should be solid. Shop into the main. The boys are being pulled, the Marauders, they hold their own. And BabyMarine defends. Yeah, he does defend. From here, we're just going to be getting into a longer game. The game will continue. BabyMarine with a much faster CC and Goblin with a much later Nexus. So we later expand. After a very aggressive start here, again, we're transitioning into the early to mid game. And coming into this, I do favor BabyMarine. Does have the faster base, going to have the faster second mule, has a higher SCV count to begin with. So far, again, a stronger start for the Terran. It's on the Goblin to find some damage, true. Needs to find some damage. He does break down the depot at least. Lock-on is broken. Nice force fields. He locks in one of the Marauders. Yeah, 2 Marines and a Marauder. Very nice pickoffs. Nice catch. Again, this is kind of damage that Goblin needs to find because he's behind. The reality is that he's behind, so he has to find damage. Lock-on in the Prism. Prism will break the lock-on. Second depot is under fire. Takes down the depot and the tech lab. Once again, we should break the lock-on. Oh, not quite able to. Zealot goes down. Yeah, Zealot goes down. We do move in. Boys are being pulled. Now there's 2 Cyclones. Uh-oh. And now 2 Cyclones. Nice force fields. Does buy some time. Oh, the Prism. The Prism goes down to the Viking. Oh my god. Prism goes down, but that's still going to be 7 SCV kills. That's a lot of damage. Did I say 7? Getting up to 11. 11 SCVs. Catching out a Cyclone as well. Better traits for Goblin. He is overwhelming. Did waste a shot here on the plates. Yeah, did waste a shot. And will be cleaned up. But this is still a lot of damage here. 12 workers going down. It picks up how many Cyclones? 1 Cyclone, 1 Viking, 5 Marines, 3 Marauders. Very nice trades here for Goblin. And even though initially he had to later expand, now he's up in perps. He's up by 10 workers here, so he has a greater economy. And back at home, he's rebuilding his Immortals and rebuilding his Prism as well. He's ready for any kind of counterattack. With 2 Immortals, he is fine. One thing that is lacking is anti-air. We have 2 Stalkers and a Sentry. So Goblin's going to be careful. The Viking on the hunt. Can also land for harass. True. Can also land. Goblin, he does move out. He does bypass the entire army. We're going for the base raid. Let's go. We're going for the base raid. Boys are being pulled with good enough juggling. Nothing should go down. The Immortal is sustaining some damage here. At the same time, Land of Viking is zoned away. Drop into the natural. Getting on top of the Immortal. 1 Sentry does get picked off. Oh, but late control here by Goblin. Oh no, save the Immortal! Oh my god, it's gonna get down! Jesus. Again, late control there by Goblin. Again, who's focusing at home. Is defending. Yeah, he does head back at home. Meanwhile, ooh, he'll bleed out a Stalker. But despite that, 5 SCVs. Only 5 SCVs left. GG gets called, and Goblin, he takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Goblin, he will take a lead in the series. Again, a very intense, very messy start to the game. BabyMarine, initially, he had the better start. Remember, he was able to transition cleanly in towards the natural. He was up in workers, faster CC, but he did force the counterattack, and that is why Goblin, there was so much pressure on him to do some damage, and he was able to do so. Remember, he killed a Viking, a Cyclone, he killed 2 depots, he killed the Tech Lab, and he killed 11 SCVs. That was crazy damage across the map, and with that, he more than equalized. He took a lead after the early damage. GG. GG well played. Goblin, he snowballed out of control. Thankfully, he wasn't passive, right? That would be the worst case scenario, is if he was too passive in the aftermath of the defense and he stayed at home, and then BabyMarine just skyrocketed ahead, or he would skyrocket ahead. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner here of Tourmaline, we have the red Terran player. We have the Italian Terran representing Streamer Zone. It is BabyMarine. Hello. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have getting proxied once again, as I did see that rally. Oh, where are we going? We'll keep an eye on BabyMarine. Never mind. We have the Croatian Protoss. We have the teal Protoss. It is Goblin. And looks like we have a fake proxy. Okay, so BabyMarine, initially he was rallied to the 3rd location, but instead he does re-rally to his own 3rd location instead, going for a fake proxy. The way this works here is that if Goblin goes for a probe scout, and he is, and Goblin sees the missing racks, the hope is that Goblin overreacts, right? That Goblin intentionally does not take his natural and sets up in the main base with a battery, with a robo as well, with another gateway, and overreacts. We can see that it's a fake out. The Rax is on BabyMarine's side of the map, and he can always float back home. So we'll see if Goblin takes the bait. Goblin checks further in the main, just to confirm. Now checks behind the mineral line. It is not unheard of to hide the racks further back inside the main base, or at the natural, or at the third. So it's on Goblin to confirm. From here, there's going to be a Stargate opener after the Nexus. So overall, a good call here by Goblin. He didn't overreact. He didn't get extra batteries. The Reaper will poke in, and Goblin, he also reconfirms the factory and the CC back at home. So he knows. So honestly, very nicely done here. Again, no major reaction out of Goblin. Building up into his own Stargate. Now, this is risky. We bring this up all the time, but Stargate openers are very risky in this matchup. They can work wonders, and personally, I feel like they're safer when it comes to mid-game play, but the Reaper gets in. The Reaper does not get a scat off, thankfully, but typically Stargate openers do leave Protoss players vulnerable to 2-base all-ins. 2-base aggression here hits very hard, and the Stargate does not really help too much when it comes to defensive play. The Oracle is being cornered as we speak. And back in our BabyMarine just settling into his own 1-1-1. Looking to go for his own Widowmine drop. As Goblin is going to have a delayed Twilight Council and delayed tech, delayed upgrades. Assuming we don't go Phoenixes, this should be into Blink, otherwise we may go into Charge. Goblin does fan out on the right hand side. Fans out. This is going to be a little bit more of a committed mine drop here with 3 Widow Mines, not 2. Okay. Drop loads up. BabyMarine, he does move out. As he moves out, the Oracle's going to be moving in. And we'll see who comes out on top. Shall see. The Oracle moves in. SCV is going to be going down. So far so good. And getting 1, 2, 3 SCV kills. Very nice damage. Mine drop is going to be denied. And so far, Goblin is keeping up quite well. It's looking good. Oh. Yeah, Widowmine drop is denied. Gonna be zoned away. What I will say is, thankfully, BabyMarine does keep the units alive for the most part. He will still lose 1 of the Widowmines, but does escape with the other 2. So it could have been a lot worse. I mean, ideally, we get some damage regardless, but it could have been worse. And so far, Goblin's looking solid. Goblin doesn't fall for the bait. He defends. BabyMarine, he does move out. Now, again, this push is prompted by the Stargate opener. What did we say at the start of the game? Stargate openers do leave you vulnerable to 2-base all-ins, and we're rallying everything across the map. It's all or nothing here for BabyMarine. He commits. The tank does siege. It was not slowed down ahead of time. Ooh, when he sets up outside of the natural. Blink is finishing. We're going to have minimal stalkers to work with. Goblin, do you go 2-gate? He's going up to 4. But again, he went for the faster third as well. BabyMarine gaining ground, throwing down more bunkers. Again, this is meant to kill. It's all or nothing. There's no stim, no combat shields, no upgrades on the way. Second tank has arrived. And he's got a second tank. Tank wall is going off. Battery goes down. BabyMarine forcing his way further in. Is now within range of the Nexus. Oof. The Stalkers, they try to come in from behind the mine shot. Oh my god. My shot does not go off. Bunkers are done. And Goblin is counterattacking. He's counterattacking across the map instead. Meanwhile, that Nexus is getting very low. Again, no more shields. Down to less than half HP. Yeah, with that, there's no saving the base. The Nexus does fall. At the same time, Stalkers are coming from behind. They go for the blink. Goes to the blink. He gets one, he gets two. He will clean this up. But after losing the base, and that's still 12 probes going down, it's still a trade. As BabyMarine, he does trade as best he can. He holds his own, picks up more Stalkers. Barely gets away with the medevac. And as dust settles, where are we? Goblin is down to 36 probes. At least he has the third, and he will be able to transfer over. So at least he has an economy to work with, but it is very small. A very, very small economy. BabyMarine, he's ahead. He's up in workers. He's up in bases. Third CC is almost done. Goblin, he needs to counterattack. Yes, he's got to go for it. He's got to send it. Oh. He's got to send it back. Does have accurate vision with the Oracle. He can deny Stim, true. Stim is exposed. He gets it. One more volley. What a mess. Oh my god, Stim is denied, so nice pick up here from Goblin. Delays some of the upgrades. Catching out a reactor as well. A reactor and tech lab. Stim has to restart. And some damage is dealt at the same time. Liberator gets across the map, getting 3 more probes, denying mining. Some more brutal damage here. And so far, BabyMarine is in a better position. Goblin still has potential with this army, don't get me wrong. He can try to catch a medevac, a tank, any stray units, or blink back into the main. So now trying to do this with the main army. Once again, going to be zoned back. Back, zone away. Oracle does hit the natural. Gonna be deflected. And with that, BabyMarine is holding. He's holding on, and the big power spike is on the way with Stim. Stim +1, combat shields, 1-1 upgrades even. It's all on the horizon. It's all coming. Until that happens, BabyMarine is happy to just defend. Happy to defend, happy to enjoy that greater economy. At this point in the standard game, Goblin should already have a 4th up and running. There should already be a 4th base. But alas, there is none. Goblin moving in, does have Storm. High Templar looking for a juicy Storm. Oh god. Gonna be sent away. Templar, they move in and they will storm the main army. And not a bad storm. As both tanks go down. Yeah, it does break through the siege line, but no more zealots. Yeah, we need more charges here, and there's no prism. There's no prism, there's nowhere to warp in across the map. Both High Templar did just go down. So an expensive trade for Goblin. Very expensive. He lost 2 Templar, 6 Stalkers. Oof. Here comes BabyMarine. Let's catch up the Prism. Prism goes down. Can depower the Robo. Just diving straight into the mineral line instead, and we're going for the quote-unquote base trade. We're going for the pseudo base trade here still because they bust into the natural. Meanwhile, BabyMarine is inside of the natural as well. Here come the storms. True, the storms. Oh my god. Force to pick up. It does force to pick up. Now jumping into the main. Due to those feedbacks, there's only 1 storm left. True. Just the one. Soldiers, oh no, they get punished for the blink, get brutal connections. Yeah, ghosts have arrived, they can EMP, they can clean this up at the same time, storm into the mineral line. BabyMarine, he's still pulling his opponent apart. He does kill one of the High Templar, forcing the Archon. And BabyMarine, he comes out on top here. killing 21 probes in total. 21 worker kills, the High Templar, the War Prism. BabyMarine's still up in economy. Far ahead in economy. And here comes the main push. There are 2 High Templar remaining. They're behind the army. They need time. They do need time here for energy. Oof, wouldn't mind they punish the Stalkers. Blink goes on cooldown. Yeah, Blink was on cooldown. At the same time, we do have to drop across the map. And BabyMarine just has to chill. Like, he's just perfecting his army, building up his ghost count. I believe he's currently unaware as to the Colossus that are on the way, so there's no Vikings yet for BabyMarine. That is the one thing that he's missing. It's the Viking count. But outside of that, he's looking solid. As the first Colossus has arrived. BabyMarine going for the bush. Oh. Tells go for the main push. Nice CMPs here on the High Templar. There was only one storm. Just the one. Only one storm. We have another Templar coming in, and I believe there is soon to be one storm available. There we go. Yeah, one storm now available. Goblin trying to hold his own. At the same time, that's only half the army. The other half does hit the third. Meanwhile, we do see BabyMarine getting caught out here. This is expensive, losing 2 ghosts. Yeah, 2 ghosts getting caught. BabyMarine losing a lot of supply there. Getting a little bit careless. Let's get careless. Loads up, going for another double drop. BabyMarine, he's far enough ahead where he can afford some mistakes, so this is still okay. But he does need to be careful. Going to get a decent storm. Do you see Goblin double expanding, going straight for the 5th expansion? It's a very bold move here from Goblin, but he has to do something drastic. He needs to expand. I mean, he is banking resources as well. How many gateways is he on? Only on 8. And it looks like he's recognized as well. He's like, I need to spend my money. He gets a Nexus, throws down a wall of gateways. Goblin's macro was slipping. It was slipping, but as they'll say, do get into the middle line, not bad. 13 SCVs, but now we have Vikings. Oof, now we have Vikings. Gets a Colossus. And remember earlier we mentioned this is the one thing that BabyMarine he was missing. Now he has it. And Vikings, they just bully the army, getting 1, getting 2, getting soon to be 3 Colossus. The older Colossus is going to be going down at the same time. 20 SCV kills. These Zealots are popping up. The charge lots. They cripple the economy, killing all the SCVs. And this is nice damage, but BabyMarine is pushing. Like, it all comes down to the main army. Do we have any High Templar? There's one Templar, there's one Storm. Storm does not connect with the main army. There are 0 Colossus remaining. There's 1 Disruptor on the way. BabyMarine commits. He is overstimmed. Oh my god, heavily overstimmed. And he might not have enough here. Vikings, we got to land. Nice snipes. Jesus. Nice snipes of BabyMarine. Turns away the main army. Getting 15 probe kills. And again, we're getting to a very messy, a much more back and forth mid-game here. BabyMarine, though, still ahead. Still took the better fights, kill the expansion. Okay, Goblin, he can no longer keep up. There's a world where maybe if he lands the juiciest storms and purification overs, then he can still take a fight, but he needs to rely on that happening at this point. Especially with BabyMarine now taking up in towards Liberator production. Fusion core is done, Liberator range is on the way. That is the ideal. It's going to be ideal. Oh. Yeah, nice EMPs. Getting the High Templar, that was one of the only chances. Nice Stasis Trap going off in the main army. Very nice. Now another Disruptor. Disruptor's exposed. Does go down. Vikings, they snipe another Colossus. Down to one. One Colossus left. And again, Goblin, he did recover from the early game. Like, he was able to build back up, and that was impressive, but still being outscaled by the quality of the main army. Nice Storm. So once again, BabyMarine is scanning, trying to get eyes on the economy. I don't think he's aware of bottom right. No, he is. Okay.
Upgrade complete.
He's aware of bottom right. Waiting for that right-hand side rotation. Goblin's keeping up. Does have storms. EMP on the Zealots. EMP on the Colossus. Storms are still coming in. But they're not connecting. And no major connections. Where that Colossus goes down. 0 splash damage. And Goblin's being overwhelmed. At this one, they cannot fight this main army. No without splash damage. No without Zealots. To open away to charge shots. There's the NG overcharge as well. Celtic collapses on the wire. Storm also trying to come in. Trying to. And it's impressive that Goblin's been able to tread water for as long as he has, but it's just been treading water. And there it is. Liberation has finally arrived. It's got the Liberation. Baby GG gets called, and BabyMarine ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We're going to the ace match here. Winding it back again, it was a Stargate opener out of Goblin. Sorry, I say that. Initially, it was the fake out, so the fake proxy from BabyMarine. Goblin did not fall for it. He went for his own Stargate follow-up. We saw that the Stargate opener wasn't really worth it, and in the end, it actually hurt Goblin more than anything, as BabyMarine went for a very committed early game push, basically an all-in. He was able to break and kill the natural Nexus. Remember, he killed the Nexus. There was still the third base, and that allowed Goblin to stay in the game, but he was playing from behind. He was trying to recover economically. Eventually he was able to catch up, and we did have a bit of a back and forth mid-game, a little bit, but BabyMarine still had the lead, and eventually he was able to re-secure himself by catching out the army, by outscaling, taking up into Ghosts, eventually the Vikings as well. He was just that one step ahead after killing the natural at the beginning of the game. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into the ace match. We're tied up 1-1. We're going to game 3. Oh, a crazy map as well. For those that are unaware, this tournament does feature an extended map pool. What does that mean? That means that we do have some older maps voted in by the players. Up next, Submarine. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Submarine, we have the Croatian Protoss player, the Teal Protoss, being forced into a tied series. It is Goblin. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Italian Terran player, we have the red Terran. For Streamer Zone, it is BabyMarine. Let's go. Let us go as we're getting into game number 3, the ace match here. It all ends on Submarine. Submarine, those that don't remember, I believe was in the map pool. Was it end of 2021? Was either end of 2021 or beginning of 2022? but this was in the map pool during the early years of the COVID era of StarCraft, and it's been quite some time since we've experienced maps on Submarine. As I mentioned before, so OSC, they do feature an extended map pool where players, they vote on maps. They do vote on maps, and Submarine was voted to be added to the map pool alongside Beckett Industries, and there's one other map that's slipping my mind. Let me just double check. So it's Submarine, Beckett Industries, and Tokamak. Oh, there you go. And Tokamak, which is a more modern, more recent map. So now our players are going to be settling in. This time there's no fake proxy gateway. Oh, sorry, proxy racks, I meant to say. This time BabyMarine, his racks is back at home, but double gas opener, faster factory, delayed CC, a bit of a more tech heavy start out of BabyMarine. And Goblin, he did not get into the main. So Goblin is not fully aware. For all Goblin knows, there could be a CC here. There could be a CC on the high ground to expand and to float down towards the natural base. So Goblin playing a little bit blind. Likewise, behind this is going to be a reactor in the after. It does go Reaper reactor into factory. Does move in. Infamously, Submarine had a very short rush distance, by ground, a very direct attack path as well. I say direct, like looking back on a quote-unquote, it is an older map technically, but comparing this to Tourmaline, like we have some decent positions here to engage. We have choke points here in the center, we have an elevated position here in the center of the map as well. Like these are locations where you can engage with the army ahead of time to slow it down. This is something that's missing, for example, from Tourmaline. True. Is missing. Teptel spoke in, confirming the CC. And this time Goblin is going for a Twilight Council opener. Into Blink. Not Stargate this time. As BabyMarine is doubling down, going into... Oh, I was going to say Reacted Reaper Hellion, but hey, there we go. Reacted Reaper Hellion. So very aggressive, very committed play here by BabyMarine. Now the goal here is economic damage. Is to overwhelm the Gateway Army, to bust into a mineral line, either the natural or the main base, or both, and then pop off. BabyMarine, he does lose a Reaper already, true. His move out is already a little bit weaker. So he's got 2 Reapers actually. Ooh, some heavy losses for BabyMarine. Every unit counts. Does catch a Stalker. It's 1. Does get a Reaper. The rest diving into the main. Hellion towards the natural. So far we do have a full wall here at the natural base, so Goblin, he's ready. Oh, I spoke too soon. He gets in. The Reapers, they bust in, and they don't get much done. A bit of miscontrol. They did attack the Nexus for a moment there, so they did waste a volley. And Goblin is holding. At the same time, 3 Hellions, they can one-shot. Ooh, they can one-shot probes, and they will one-shot. Getting 6 probe kills so far. Still not done. Getting it to 7. Oh, no, lining up. 1 more volley. 9 probes going down. Oof, critical damage dealt here early on. Goblin's taking his 3rd base. Meanwhile, BabyMarine, he's not done, by the way. He's building up early tanks for an early push. We'll see if we move out with the 2 tanks or if we do just set up defensively. Bunkers on the way, so it looks like we're just setting up defensively. Happy to enjoy our economic lead. Does poke into the main. Denies mining. Yeah, here we go. Here comes the main push. If you recall, the moment that I saw the bunker being built, I was like, oh, I guess we're just not going to push. Nah, we're still going for it. We're still going for it. BabyMarine does get a third CC behind this, which is interesting to me. Remember, there's no stim with this. There's no stim. There's no combat shields. This is very dedicated play here by BabyMarine, moving out with his 2 tanks. They are the backbone of this army. And he is within range of the third. Oh. And this is all he wanted. He just wants to kill the third base. He doesn't need to kill. He doesn't need to kill Goblin, I mean. Just bring down the third. Goblin catching reinforcements. Comes in from behind. BabyMarine does react. Does pull away. But he will still lose a tank. Massive pickup. Tank goes down. Nexus falls. And BabyMarine is going to keep pushing. He's going to keep moving in. Yeah, Stalkers, they don't quite make it through. Stalkers, they try to commit in. Going for the dive. He gets one. He gets one tank and he'll get the other as well. Yeah, 2 tanks go down, and with that, the Stalkers, they will clean this up, but damage has been dealt already. Already killed the third base. Already disrupted the production. Some mass cancellations. And BabyMarine once again enjoying the better economy, and he's still building up. He's got a faster third CC. It's already done. Just morphing in the orbital. Getting into stim. Getting into that later push. You know, Goblin is desperate. Catching out some depots. Getting a couple of depots, getting a Marine. Nicely done. Ideally, Goblin wants more than this. Still looking for more. Looking for more damage. But now they're poking in, dishing out a lot of damage here to the CC. Does have Icon Vision, okay. Dives into the main. Oh, the prism. Okay, I was like, what? The prism was in position. Catching up some add-ons. Can always blink back down. And the tank is exposed. BabyMarine, he's just being pulled apart here. Yeah, mining is denied. Losing a tank as well. Very nice damage out of Goblin. Is what he needs. Gets more CVs. Catching out 5 more SCVs. BabyMarine scans. He sees like, ooh, what should have been an economic lead for BabyMarine. He's losing that lead. Still retains a very high worker count and still does retake his third. But Goblin's getting his 4th. He's getting his 4th base. Brings him back into the main base. Tide is not done in time. Back in. Okay, Goblin just nibbling away at BabyMarine. Splitting out one unit at a time. It does add up. And the aggression so far, it's not ending. Is it? Well, Goblin contains, of course. He's now reinforcing with his main army. We got Colossus amassing behind this as well. And there's going to be a window in time where Goblin, he can hit with Colossus before there are ghosts and before there are liberators. They're still on the way. Honey Vikings, 0. Right, there's 0 Vikings. Zell take laps in and gets up the Marauders. Nice focus firing here on the first tank. Gets 1. Now getting both. Yeah, both tanks go down. Massive damage. He has broken the 3rd expansion, and Goblin, he snowballs out of control. I say that he does not actually get into the 3rd CC. into that mineral line. Ah, I spoke too soon. 8 SCVs. 8 SCVs going down, forcing friendly fire. It's still quite close. Liberation has arrived. Oh. Yeah, blinks in and gets punished for the blink. Still very tense. Probe's probe count. Sorry, Goblin's probe count is not amazing either. Actually, still down in workers. He's still lacking. Blinks in. He does catch both tanks. Okay. 2 tanks go down. A very nice trades here from Goblin, picking off 2 Liberators as well. These also being thrown away. But these are efficient trades. And the Warbrands, oh, they just keep on coming. They keep on coming, Pappy. I did mention earlier that at this point the third base is broken, but there it is. He breaks on through. GG gets called, and Goblin, he will claim the series 2-1, taking down BabyMarine. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very intense back and forth. Very, very intense here. They both had their own moments in this game. Initially, BabyMarine, he was able to gain momentum himself, but did eventually lose that lead. Goblin, there was a lot of pressure on Goblin to find some damage, and he was being so proactive, right? With his stalkers, catching out tanks, getting SCVs, blinking into the main base, blinking back down as well. It all did add up over time. In the end, we saw that BabyMarine, he was stuck at home. He was struggling to defend. Meanwhile, we saw that Goblin was able to freely just get a 4th base, macro up, get into Colossus, and sustain his army, of course. GG. Whew. GG, well played with that. BabyMarine, he's out. BabyMarine, he's... Oh, wait, did I set the wrong... There we go. Hold on. Uh-oh. As I might have selected the wrong winner there. My apologies, my apologies. As Goblin does claim the series. I'm a little bit out of it right now, so I do apologize for that. Goblin does claim the series. We'll claim the series here, and with that, we have our next matchup. It is going to be a PvP between Jumi and Sebestus.